Good evening and welcome to the PACAC Fair session on the University of Wyoming. Thank you for joining us for the Keystone Virtual Exploration for College. I am going to turn it over to University of Wyoming in just a second, but first I would like to share a couple of slides with you to give our attendees some heads up about some ways to interact in this presentation. So hang on just a second, I will get to my slides. There we go. All righty. All right, hang on just one second. I'll share my screen so the rest of you can see that as well, because that would probably help most of you out. All right. And here we go. All right, so welcome to the Virtual College Exploration. If you would like to ask questions, please do use the Q&A button and type those questions in there. Your microphone and your camera are off, so the panelists will not be able to see you. Please, I encourage you to sign up for more sessions. We have some great programming coming up throughout the rest of the month. And if you're interested in going back and reviewing this recording and all the other recordings will be available on the same website that you registered. So that's www.pacac.org/virtual. And with that, I am going to turn this over to Alicia from the University of Wyoming.
All right, thank you. So I will share my screen here. My presentation. All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about the University of Wyoming. Great place to go to school, great place to live. Nothing like going to live and go to school in a state that is still very wild, I like to say. Lots of animals in the state of Wyoming, lots of weather in the state of Wyoming, so really a fun place to be. So we're gonna see a really short video clip really quickly, a little bit about your first year on campus, well, what it would kind of look like. All right, so we are the University of Wyoming. We are located in the southeast corner of Wyoming in a town called Laramie. Laramie is in that southeast corner of Wyoming. We're actually are only about 2 hours from Denver, Colorado, about an hour from Fort Collins, Colorado. So if you're familiar with the state of Colorado, we're not very far from that area, right in that southeast corner of the state. We are a rectangle. So in Laramie, our total student body is a little over 11,000. This is graduate and undergrad together. Our student to faculty ratio is right about 15:1, and our average class size is right around 30 students is our average class size. What is unique about, I also try to remember to always say this, what is also very unique about the University of Wyoming is we are the only 4-year institution in the state of Wyoming. So we are the only 4-year state, so everybody, 4-year college or university in the state of Wyoming. So we are, it's kind of nice because the whole state supports us, which is really fun. But we do have students from around the world. We have students from all 50 states and 90 countries. The University of Wyoming right now is made up of 66% Wyoming students and 34% non-resident students. And with our incoming freshman class, usually we're a 50-50 split with our incoming freshman class, usually 50% out-of-state students, 50% in-state students. So you're gonna meet a lot of different people from all over when you come to Wyoming, which is really cool. We have 80 undergraduate programs as well. Oops, let me go back to that. 80 undergraduate programs. We have about 7 colleges on campus as well. Tons and tons of different majors, minors you can participate in as well. So there's a lot of reasons that you choose to go to college and pursue higher education, but a lot of different things besides just getting an education. Obviously, that is the most important thing, but there's so much more that goes with your college experience that we like to highlight. And so you can really see, like, is this going to be great for me? Is UW going to be the best institution for me to go to? Do they have all the things that I want? They have my major, but do they have other things that I'm interested in as well? So I always like to hit on our study abroad program. We have the largest endowed study abroad program in the nation. We have students that travel all over the world through our study abroad program. Within this endowment, we have students that can apply for scholarships for our study abroad program. A lot of students, about 50% of our student body does study abroad at some point during their college career, which is really neat. One of my biggest regrets in college is I did not study abroad. The opportunities were there and I didn't take it. So please, please don't do what I did. Please study abroad. It's one of those really cool opportunities. And you get to do it in a time and get in a time in your life that it's the best time to study abroad. So look into those things. We have a lot of options for students to study abroad while they're at UW. We also have a lot of undergraduate research opportunities. We are a Division I university, which is great. We are a smaller D1, but with being a Division I university, we have a lot of opportunities for students to be able to do undergraduate research. We have a lot of students that do research within wildlife biology, within some of our plant soil science. I know a student that's doing a study on chronic waste disease in deer. We have some people who are doing, as even within this picture, but I also know somebody else who's doing research on crops in this area. I also know someone who's doing research on beetle kill in some of our forests in this area. And the pine trees are getting beetle kill. So there's a lot of different things that you can do here research-wise, which is really neat. As I did mention, we are a Division I university. We have lots of athletic options for students to watch, as well as if you are an athlete, you can contact our athletic department. We have lots of different athletic programs here at UW. We are at 7,220 feet. We're one of the few universities at this high of an elevation in the nation. So I still get winded sometimes up here especially when I'm doing presentations. Sometimes I have to take a drink of water because we are at such a high elevation. So, but what's really cool about that is our stadium is at 7,220 feet. So the motto is welcome to 7220 when other competing teams come to play us. because most teams that are coming from other universities will be at a much lower elevation. So that's kind of what we say to our competitors when they come: welcome to 7220. Essentially, I hope you can make it at this elevation. We do have fine and performing arts at the University of Wyoming. And what's nice about this is, and I get this question a lot from prospective students and parents, do I have to major in music if I want to be in band? Or I still want to sing, but I don't really want to major in it. So you definitely don't have to do that. You can still participate in band, orchestra, choir, any of those things, theater, and not be a major in those areas. So I know a lot of people who will major in business, but they still participate in the band. So there's a lot of options to still do that. We put on the Nutcracker every year, which is really, really cool. We have all of our students participate in the Nutcracker. So a lot of different options for students to participate in fine and performing arts here at UW as well. Outdoor recreation. This one, you know, I have to sometimes stop myself from talking so much because I always ask students when I'm out at college fairs or I'm visiting with prospective students and families, I'm always like, are you interested in the outdoors? A lot of students will come up to me and ask about the University of Wyoming for outdoor things. And I tell them, like, you can do anything you could ever want to do outdoors here. We have summer sports, we have winter sports. You can downhill ski, cross country ski, snowshoe, snowmobile. You can ice fish, and then you can rock climb, mountain bike, you can kayak, canoe. In this picture in the top left, I was paddleboarding this is at Kirk Gowdy State Park. I was paddleboarding there a couple of weeks ago, right by that rock formation actually. So there's a lot of different things you can do here. We are right next to the Medicine Bow National Forest. So a lot of our students are able to be outdoors and have that recreation while they're at UW. And I always ask students, like, if you want outdoors to be part of your college experience, UW is the place for you. We're so close to all different areas. The closest ski resort is about 40 minutes from our campus. So you're able to really participate in all of these recreational activities in such a great area of the US and in our state. So again, getting involved is so important. We talked a little bit about fine arts, athletics, things like that. But not only do we have Division I sports, we have intramural sports, we have club sports. We have over 280 recognized student organizations here at the University of Wyoming. Lots of organizations. We have political, multicultural organizations, our student government as well. We have a Harry Potter club. We have a canoe battleship club where they play battleship and canoes in our pool. So there's tons of different things that you can be a part of at the University of Wyoming. We have a swing club, which is country swing. So if you're interested in country dancing, we have that as an option. Lots of different things that you can do here. And always, if you don't find anything that you're interested in, you want to start your own club, you have enough people and you have an advisor, you can create your own club here at the University of Wyoming. So we'll talk a little bit about the Honors College really quickly. We have an Honors College here at the University of Wyoming. We'll talk about applying to us here in a moment, but the requirements for the Honors College, you need at least a 3.7 unweighted GPA or higher. I left these ACT or SAT scores in for the moment because students can get in purely off their GPA or a test score. So we would look at the GPA at the moment, obviously for a lot of students that aren't able to get the ECT or SAT right now. And then they would submit a 250-word essay as well. The benefits of being in the Honors College, tons of opportunities for students who are in the Honors College. Study abroad. They have professor-led study abroad trips that I keep hearing about all the time because the Honors program takes such cool trips. They'll have a class that's about Shakespeare, and then they'll do a Shakespeare trip abroad. They'll go to London, they'll go to the Globe Theater and kind of learn a little bit more about Shakespeare, follow some of his plays where he wrote some of them. They kind of go around and follow a little bit of a Shakespeare map abroad, and it's super cool. I've heard about that multiple times, and students love that trip. There's a lot of funded research opportunities as well. So students I see a lot of students in the honors program have undergraduate research done before they have graduated, which is really awesome. But also I hear a lot of students say they really like about the honors college is the interdisciplinary classes. Because you're going to have classes, and they're mainly discussion based as well, but you're going to have classes with other students that aren't in your major. So you could be a business major and you could have somebody from the agriculture department, or the Hobbs School of Natural Science. Somebody could be in there as well. So there you could have people from all over campus, and so you're meeting people in other majors, which is really awesome. We also have honors housing as well. The students can pick to stay in the honors housing, and they're granted priority registration, which is always a plus. All right, so we'll talk now about becoming a cowboy. So freshman admission, we are on the Common App, and we also have our own application on our website that you can access. So you can do the Common application or the UW application. Either one works for us. It's totally up to you which one you'd like to do. For the moment, we are test optional for the fall 2021 class. This is for admission only. Our Board of Trustees stated that we would be admission only, but we would still, for test optional for admission only, but we would still require an ACT or SAT score for our scholarships or commitments. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So it's really easy to apply to us. Apply to us either on the Common App or the UW application. Submit your high school transcript showing your GPA. We look at a cumulative unweighted GPA. And then we are test optional for the fall 2021 class. So this is what we're going to look at for admission requirements. We'll look at this on your high school transcript. We need at least a 3.0 unweighted GPA or higher. This is the high school curriculum we will look at. We need 4 years of English, 4 years of math. This does need to include an Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and a geometry sequence. 4 years science. We must have at least 1 year must be physical sciences, either physics, chemistry, or college prep physical science course. The remaining can be biological, life, physical, or earth sciences. 3 years social science, and then 4 years of additional coursework, either in foreign language, fine and performing arts, career vocational education, or a combination of these 3 disciplines, but 2 years must be sequenced. So you could have 2 years of foreign language and 1 year of performing arts, but you can't have one of all 3. 2 do have to be sequenced together. So you could have 2 years of performing arts and 1 year foreign language, and that would work. We do have an admission with support option, which would require a holistic review. If you have a cumulative unweighted high school GPA of a 2.5 to 2.9 or a 2.25 to 2.49, we would look at your application with a holistic review. And this still would put you into our bridge program, which is a nationally recognized bridge program, which helps students that first semester they're at the University of Wyoming. It puts them in a program with other bridge students. They're all in the same classes together. You could potentially take one in the summer as well, and go into the fall semester knowing students already, and also being in another class in the fall that you would be with bridge students and have that familiarity as well. So it kind of just helps you get transitioned into college life, being in our bridge program. Our bridge program, you have to be registered and in the program by July 15th to be in the program and still be considered for admission for the fall. These are some additional documents we will need. We don't need them to make an admissions decision, but we will need them before you start classes in the fall with us. Proof of MMR immunizations. Everybody's always like, what is MMR? MMR is measles, mumps, rubella. So we need to see that you've had that shot. So we'll need a shot record showing you've had the MMR shot. We need ACT or SAT scores to be considered for a commitment or a scholarship, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a moment. College transcript, if you're taking any dual or concurrent enrollment courses. If you have any AP scores, we can take those AP test scores as well. IB classes, if you're an International Baccalaureate student, so IB, we would take those test scores as well. On our website, you can see the IB and AP test scores that we would need for credit at the University of Wyoming. So we'll talk about value really quickly. We are one of the most affordable in-state institution, most affordable public institution in the nation. 54% of our students graduate with little to no debt. A lot of options for paying off your cost of attendance at the University of Wyoming. You can work on campus, scholarships, grants, loans, things like that. A lot of ways to offset that cost. It is very true. Education is an investment in your future. So there's lots of ways that you can help supplement and pay for college. So we'll talk a little bit about our new first-time student awards. And for you, students, you will be looking at the Brown and Gold commitment in the children, and I'll also talk about the Child of Alumni Scholarship. The WUI program is for Western states, so that one we won't need to worry about. We'll just talk about the Brown and Gold commitment and the Child of Alumni Scholarship. So for the Brown and Gold commitment, we do still require an ACT or SAT score and a GPA to be able to be eligible for these commitments. What's nice about these commitments though, once you apply, if you do have an ACT or SAT score, you send that to us. We also have your transcript. You can audit, you'll see if you can fall on the grid, and if you do, you're automatically awarded that, which is nice. So let's say you fall in the 4,000 band range, you would be able to receive that scholarship for 4 years as long as you maintain a 3.0 UW GPA. So as long as you maintain a 3.0 GPA, you'll be able to keep your scholarship, your Brown and Gold commitment for 4 years. So let's say you apply to the University of Wyoming this fall, you manage to get an ACT or SAT later in the spring. As long as we receive the ACT or SAT score before the May 1 confirmation date, we can award you a commitment or we can move you into a different band. Let's say you're in 4,000, you've got a new score that bumps you into the 7,000 range. We will make that adjustment with a new ACT or SAT score up until May 1 of your senior year, because that is May 1 is the confirmation deadline, and at that point, everything would be locked in. So we would take an updated score up until that time frame. So we'll talk a little bit about the Children of Alumni benefit. This is one of the most lucrative Child of Alumni scholarships that I have seen. If you are a child of an alumni, that means one of your parents had to have graduated from the University of Wyoming. You would be able to receive essentially 150% of resident tuition, which is $11,500. So you would be able to get this for the 4 years you're at the University of Wyoming. Does not have a GPA requirement to keep it. So if you apply to us, put that one of your parents is an alumni, and we verify that, you are eligible for the alumni benefit for not only the 4 years for your undergrad, but you can also get your master's with the alumni benefit. And even if you wanted to go on and get your doctorate, you could do that as well with the Child of Alumni benefit. So it's a fantastic scholarship for our students that are children of alumni. So keep that in mind. If you are a child of alum, this is a great opportunity for you to not only be able to get a scholarship for your undergraduate degree, but if you wanted to go on to get your master's or a doctorate, it would also work for that as well. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about finalizing admission. Hopefully you all will go and apply immediately to the University of Wyoming this evening. Once we have admitted you to the University of Wyoming, a couple steps you'll take after that has happened. You would log into what we call WyoWeb. So the first thing is you would do the step 1, which is obtain username and initial password. After you do that, you would then log into the students area where it says step 2. And then you'll be able to see your checklist for all the steps you'll need to do to finalize your admission before you start classes in the fall. This is really big. Everything operates out of WyoWeb, so obtaining your password, initial password and username and logging in will be a huge step. Wyo Scholarships is going to open. That's our general scholarship application. And to be eligible for any of our commitments, we do have to have the general scholarship application on file. It is called Wyo Scholarships. It will open November 15th this year, and you'll be able to fill that out and be eligible for the commitments that we offer and any other additional scholarships that are recommended for you to fill out when you go through the general scholarship application as well. Next thing would be to complete the residence life and dining contract. It will be found on your WyoLab checklist as well. It'll open December 3rd. Freshmen are required to live on campus for the first year. After that, you can move off campus. We have University of Wyoming apartments, but you could still live on campus if you wanted to. What's really nice about our residence halls and our dining center is most of the residence halls are right by the dining center, and some of them are actually connected to the dining center, and we have tunnels underneath that students can go to the dining hall and not have to get outside. Sometimes it's a little snowy here, could be a little cold. So we have that opportunity to go through the tunnels to get to the Washakie Dining Center for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Actually, the Washakie Dining Center is one of my favorite places to eat because there's so many options and it's a buffet style. So there's always a lot of options for when we do on-campus events. One of my favorite things to do is eat at Washakie. So that is a little bit about our residence life and dining contracts. We have a variety of meal plans as well as options for students. So a lot of different options with meal plans and different residence halls to live in as well. So we'll talk a little bit about orientation registration. Orientation is in the summer. At the moment, it runs through the month of June. They're held on Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday. This year we did do virtual orientation. So next year we'll see if we'll be doing them in person or virtual, but if we were to do them in person, this is what it would look like. There's 9 orientation sessions, and again, they run through the month of June. And that is a little bit about orientation. And that is all I have. This is my contact information. If you want to take a picture of it, feel free to email me, give me a call. Happy to answer any questions about the University of Wyoming. Also happy to answer any questions about the college process as well. Happy to help. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot an email and I will see if we have any questions at the moment, and I'm not sure if we do. And if not, that is okay. All right, well, thanks for listening today, and that concludes my presentation.
Thank you very, very much. I am going to share my slides real quickly and just close out this particular session. So if you'll bear with me for just one moment. So thank you for joining us. What you're going to notice when I end this session is that there's a quick survey that we ask all attendees to complete. And as I said at the beginning of the presentation, please do sign up for more sessions. There are a lot of great ones coming up. And as well, if you miss a session, just like we record this one, there will be others available at pacac.org/virtual. Thank you again for your attendance this evening. Alicia, it was a great presentation. I really appreciated it. I'm ready to become a cowboy myself.
Come visit us.
And hopefully the rest of the attendees, you will get a chance to view some other wonderful sessions coming up. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Take care.